Hey guys, I'm going to be showing you how to make a actual in-game menu for your games. Um, Something that I looked around, didn't really see done, so I know that a lot of us are going to have menus for a game, so I decided to make a tutorial video on it. It's pretty straightforward as far as using Unity goes. I went ahead and built just a little backdrop here, and we're going to be using 3D text. I'm just kind of hover over it and then click and have it take us to, say, the first level, or just quit the actual game, just exactly as the main menu would. So if you want to go ahead and just set up just two flat panes, or whatever you want to use there, and then we're going to go up to Game Object, Create Other. You're going to go to 3D Text, and the text is going to pop up, and it's going to say Hello World, but it's going to be tiny. So what we're going to want to do is increase it. So we go over here to Text. Let's actually change it to Play Game or Start. That'll indicate that it's the start of the level. You're going to go to font size and you're going to lower this. It's going to, I don't know why lowering it increases the font, but it does. And then character size, again, increases it. If you increase the character size without decreasing the font size though, it's going to look really rough and jagged. So you want to have this low and this high. So let's line this up with our in-game camera there. Start, let's get a top-down view. An important thing to note is when we script the menu, if this 3D object is behind any geometry, it'll still be rendered because it's like a HUD, a 3D text that needs to be there at all times, but you won't be able to move your mouse over. Like if I were to come up here and click after we scripted it, it's not going to work. So you need to make sure that this is moved in front of any geometry. Otherwise you're going to have problems. So let's actually lower the size of that a little bit there. Get it just nice and I mean, it's not that important. Whatever. So game object. Let's also create a button for quitting. So 3D text. Again, have to adjust the size. Quit. Rotate around. We see it right there. Decrease you. Increase you a little bit. Alright, and get it lined up properly. Again, just make sure it's not behind any geometry, which it isn't. Alright, and now we, to be able to interact with it, we need to add a collider. So, just simply a box collider will do for this, for this scenario. So we're going to go up here to Component Physics, Box Collider. And if you've highlighted the object, it'll automatically just add it as a component. Let's rename this as T for text underscore quit, and rename this T for text underscore start. Okay, so now we have our 3D text. We still need to add a box collider to the start. Component physics box collider. Make sure that it lines up properly with the object too. Otherwise, right here, it's not going to be selected, only in the green box area. So you need to go to the center and raise the Y value up. Do the same thing for quit. Alright, and now we need to be able to interact with our 3D text here. So, we're going to go to assets here. We're going to create a new JavaScript file, behavior script, and we're going to call it, just call it main menu or something like that. Something simple, so you actually know what's going on. Before I get any further, I want to go to the build menu and just show you a few things, because we are going to have to reference it in our script here. So if you go to File, Build Settings, you get to choose your web player or PC, whatever you guys are using. One thing that you can also do is this player settings here. You click on it. When you export your game, you have your resolution here, and default is actually very, very low. So I know a lot of you would want to raise that up to, I don't know, 1050 by 1250 or whatever today's standards are. And same thing with the PC. Another thing to note, well, I'll get there in a second. So what you're going to want to do to begin with is add your scenes to build. When you export your game, these will be all the scenes that load. So you can just drag and drop, and they'll go in order from 0 to 1 to 2 to 3. So first you want to have the main menu, and then level 1. So this is level 0 by default, this is level 1, and then if you have more, it just scales up from there. So we have that set. So let's go back here to our script, open it up, and alright, so we're going to get rid of this function update because we don't want to do it every frame. We want to do it whenever the mouse hovers over our objects here. So change this to function on mouse enter parentheses. Alright, and then we need to we need the player to know that the button's actually been selected. So let's just change the color whenever the mouse enters the box collider. So that's under the renderer material class. So renderer dot material dot color. So we're accessing the color. Set that equal to color dot I don't know, red. Why not? And the reason that this is capitalized right here versus this is because this is the actual class namespace, so it's not the entire set, whereas this is just a specific actual element. So anyway, that is on mouse enter. We're going to change the color to the red, so let's just see if that works. Save it, and of course apply it to our two objects here, and hit play, and sure enough, they both turn red. Well, we would need to have on mouse exit, they turn back to white, so let's go ahead and add that in here. So new function on mouse exit material renderer dot material dot color equals color dot white. That's the original. The semicolon. Save it, and now we start it up. Our main menu here. We hover over red, white, red, white, red, white, red, white. Awesome. Working good. Continuing on. Now we actually need to have it do something. If it's changing colors, it's not really helping us out too much. So let's have it when we push the button down that it actually either exits the application, or if it's on start, it'll start us off on the first level. So we have a new function here. Function on mouse, and it's going to be up because we can have it down, like you click down and it does it, but more traditional clicking is down and then release is the actual selection. So on mouse up, going to have if statement if we need to have a variable that sees if one of these is being selected. So let's declare a variable up here, is quit, and set it to false by default, just because if we set it to true, then we can have our actions performed. So that equals false, and then down here if is quit, then we can application dot quit is the command, and return nothing, colon. Alright, so if it is the quit button, which is declared right there, then it exits out. Whereas we have our else, application, because if we're not quitting, then we're starting the game. So it's the load level functions. Gotta be careful, it's two capital L's. If it doesn't change color, then you know you did it wrong. and then that would be the first level. Remember when I told you in build settings they're stacked in order from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. So level 1 would actually be our start game level. And for right now, I just have a dummy little scene set up. You know, you would obviously add your actual game for level 1 or whatever you're doing for your project. So let's go ahead and save this here and add it to our script. Alright, and we just add a main menu to both our scripts here. Or, I'm sorry, both of our objects here. As you can see, I got an extra one there. Reset, remove component. And because it's a variable, we need the isQuit button activated on the quit tab. So just check that off there. It's a nice little handy shortcut. Again, get rid of the extra there. And then when we start our game, we got the start, quit. Click on start, and it takes us to our first dummy level, which I haven't done anything for, which is why it's blank screen. And if we quit, it's actually not going to do anything until you build your project. So once you build your project, it gets exported. If we were to hit the quit button, it would exit the application and return back to the desktop or your browser. And that does it for making a main menu. So if you have any questions, comments, just post them up there and I'll try to answer whatever I can. Alright, thanks guys.